Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
I mean, can you believe the show? We started off with the king of recycling, Tom Zatzke, the founder of TerraCycle, and we just had on the Real Housewife of Orange County, Gretchen Christine Rossi, who's now doing a whole fashion line. But let me tell you, who's ready to run? And I'm talking about running long, running fast. Our next hero is the first woman to lead the New York Road Runners, which puts on the famed New York Marathon and many other events. Mary Wittenberg, the global CEO of Virgin Sports, who could be reached at virginsport.com, and of course, otherwise on our website, Eliances.com. Now, Mary, you were recruited. You were pulled from your other job. You were recruited by none other than, if I'm correct, Richard Branson, who was also interviewed on the Hero Show. How did that come to be?
So Richard has a great ambition to make a positive difference in the world through changing business for good. And lucky for me, when he was in the middle of an epic bike ride in South Africa, he was with his son-in-law, Freddie Andrews, and was struck by just the power of the local community coming together for this great event to cheer all these athletes, support all these charities, and get people through an epic bike ride, and said, why aren't we doing this around the world? Why doesn't Virgin bring this to everybody? So my passion is getting people moving through sport, and I've always had a great interest and desire to take this movement on the road and beyond New York City. So it's been a great marriage, and very exciting times ahead.
Now, you've also done the marathon itself, correct?
So I'm a longtime runner since my last year in college, but I had never run New York because for 17 years I was involved in putting it on. So last year was just an extraordinary opportunity that I had a year after leaving to actually run what is just a magical event, to run the magical event through the streets of New York. And it was even for me, with such a deep love of it and knowledge of it, it was just incredibly moving. And it is just I think it's not only New York City's best day, I think it shows the best of humanity, where everybody's together, shoulder to shoulder, cheering these people from around the world who've come to live their dream and go for it on the streets of New York.
Right, and I think that's the other part that's amazing, because for me, the only running I'm ever doing is if someone's chasing me. So what's nice is about the marathon itself, though, you can come out, you could cheer everybody on, you can participate, you can volunteer and all these things. I mean, really what you're doing is you've built and you're building a community.
Right, exactly. So with Virgin Sport, the opportunity, we stood back and said, okay, we want to help millions of people get moving and really lift communities and create connection between people. And when we looked at what was already out there, we realized there's a big opportunity to create a real happening, a celebration in a city with local music and local food and fashion and fun, and put at heart not an event for one type of athlete, not just for the Ironman or the marathoner or somebody who wants to do a color run on the other end of the spectrum. Why don't we create an environment where we have multiple fitness opportunities so you can come with your friends and your family, and somebody might want to do the sprint event, which is spirited and fun and shorter. Somebody might want to do the signature event, which is the long distance run this year. Somebody might want to do the strength event, which is more of a boot camp, and someone might want to do the stretch, which is more yoga. And in San Francisco, we're working with Headspace on meditation. So the idea was get everyone to come together, to get out and get moving, and then you choose which event you want, and hopefully we have something that appeals to a whole variety of people, and really lets everybody feel an active part of it, and not just one type of person participating and everybody else watching.
Now we're talking with Mary Wittenberg, the global CEO of Virgin Sport, the first woman to manage the New York Roadrunners and the New York Marathon. And you're listening to me. She's on the David Kogan Eliances Hero Show. You can go to Eliances.com, Eliances.com, which will also have the post and the link for you to be able to reach Mary. Again, David Kogan with Eliances, the only place where entrepreneurs align. Now, Mary, you also too is you went to law school. You started off doing law school at a very prestigious law school, Notre Dame Law. How did you go though from practicing law? I mean, this is so outside of from practicing law to what you're doing now and being in the whole business of fitness.
Well, you'll be intrigued to know I still use that law degree in my 10 years at a law firm. I use that experience all the time still, because ultimately, to really be successful and having positive impact, we're still running businesses, right? And we've really got to create the best way to create value for people is make sure we're running strong organizations. And so I use it all the time. My years as a lawyer were really good for me because they developed this side of me, the more analytical, detail-oriented side, and really honed my skills in working on deals and finding ways to really have the proverbial win-win for clients and their often longtime partners that they would develop through deals. So all of that was great training, actually, to then really be able to pursue my passion. I always planned to work in sports. I grew up seeing the power of sport in people's lives and I guess it's really been a calling. It's always been I wanted to share sport and fitness with people. So that was a great 10-year setup for then a much more entrepreneurial startup in many ways at New York Roadrunners, which had already was on its way in the late 1990s, but we were able to really expand the reach well beyond the marathon to encourage people of all ages, all abilities, to get out and run on a regular basis. And now this next step with Virgin allows me to take that concept on the road and take the Virgin appeal and sense of adventure and attitude and fun and bring it to even more people around the world and to expand beyond running too. So it's for me, it's ended up being a very natural progression from law to New York Roadrunners to Virgin Sport.
And if you were speaking to a group of young athletic women, what really would you most want to impart to them about business itself and staying active? Because I think what happens, Mary, is everybody's working so hard, so many hours, 24 hours a day to just stay alive and to keep up with, heck, emails alone, right? Not mention voicemails and everything else, to be able to do that balance of being fit.
It is so important, and it is increasingly hard for people. So we really all need, we want to be our best in our whole selves and bring that whole selves to all that we do, whether it's focusing on our families or focusing on our careers. And I believe and know that we are our best for others in our lives and for our careers and for our teammates at work when we are healthy and fit and at our best. And it is just so important to incorporate. And as we know now, it's no longer just something that those of us who have experienced sport talk about. Research has shown the importance of movement all the way through our lives. So for young boys and girls, now the proof is there. The ones who move for up to an hour after school every day, their brain development is accelerated versus those who don't move at such a young age. And that, I really believe, carries all the way through life. So my philosophy is it is better to do something rather than nothing. It is important for employers to recognize that their people need to be able to move. And not only because they'll be more creative and not only because it helps them, I think, really bring their best to work at the moment, because it's important for them in their lives as well. And so we spend time really trying to advocate that people, workplaces and bosses really make sure their people fit time in, because these work days are long in a lot of places, whether it's startup life or and you have other different companies or in big urban environments where people are spending a lot of time commuting, I think we can ask ourselves as leaders and organizations, what can we do to allow time and encourage people to move while they're in the midst of their work days?
Well, Mary, I'll tell you what, you got me motivated. I'm ready after this interview to go run around the block. Fantastic. You've got some exciting things going on, bringing fitness and unity to all. That's a hero. Mary Wittenberg, Global CEO of Virgin Sport. You can reach her at virginsport.com. David Kogan again with Eliances.